Am I the a-hole for leaving my fiancé's family trip after he pranked me? My fiancé's mother, Leah, hates me. I honestly hate her too. I've never felt this way about another human being before, but she has been nothing but awful since day one. It got to the point she was telling people she didn't even have a son and wouldn't speak to him because she hates me so much. I could see how depressed he was over losing her and agreed to family therapy. Leah agreed in therapy to stop being mean to me if she didn't have to talk to me at all, so she just pretends I don't exist. There were some very strict boundaries with this. She only gets to see her son occasionally. She will have no relationship with her grandkids, and if she starts with me again, he is done with her. Leah happily agreed. Their relationship is kind of awkward these days, but I know he needs her in his life, and she's much better when we do see her. I recently agreed to go on a family trip with him. We attended a wedding out of state and spent a few days there. Leah was there, but she's very happy not to speak to me, so I wasn't worried. We were going to a water park with Leah and his two teenage sisters, Leah's husband and one of his sister's boyfriends. I had a bikini, but my fiancé said he didn't think I should wear one that tied in the back because some of the rides were very intense. And he said he saw one that he loved for me when he was out with his sister. I thought that was sweet. I love wearing stuff I know he likes, so I wore it. Imagine my surprise when we got there and Leah had the same bikini. It was like something out of a movie. She stopped mid-walk and just glared at me. Everyone was laughing because they were all in on it. They saw something similar in TikTok and thought it would be funny due to how much we hate each other. They had been trying to pull it off for a while, but Leah bought a bathing suit while on the trip, so they saw the opportunity. Her husband and my fiancé were taking pictures of us. Leah was angry. Well, I was about to cry. Leah wasn't happy but got over it because she does join in on the pranks and the joking in the family. I don't, so it felt undeserved. And she and her husband have much more of a playful back-and-forth dynamic, so she didn't feel so betrayed. It was still really embarrassing walking around with her. I know this is probably petty, but I also felt insecure because she has a nicer body than me, and I just didn't want to feel like there was any competition. Leah's husband even said something about, at least I get to be married to the hot one. I decided to leave because I wasn't having fun. My fiancé was upset and felt I ruined the day but did offer to leave with me. I said it was okay, but when I got back to the hotel, I decided to change my flight and go home. I just don't like being the butt of the joke and didn't want to be there. My fiancé called me very hurt and said he felt leaving was an overreaction and now he's embarrassed in front of his family. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. At this point, I would be rethinking the entire wedding. What kind of a-hole plays a prank like this on the woman he professes to love? A successful prank is one where, when all is said and done, everyone is laughing. This one humiliated you. That's not a prank. That is straight up emotional abuse. And Leah got over it because she enjoyed your humiliation, and that her son is coming closer to her family with an act like this. There it is. Yep, honestly, Leah is an antagonizer. Because of her behavior and childish attitude, she's causing toxicity in the family by choosing to pretend you're not there anyway in the first place. I wouldn't put it past someone this cruel to find joy and sadness of others, even if it's at the expense of the person her son is in love with. I don't blame you, Opie. Not the a-hole. Even if you let this slide, Leah would likely find other ways to make the relationship among the family unhealthy. If not on this trip, soon afterwards. I'm sorry. I would talk to your fiancé about this. It was mean, especially because he knew his mother chooses to pretend you don't exist. Also, what therapist would endorse this as a strategy? Is there a subreddit about bad therapists? Not the a-hole. Honestly, this prank is the least of your problems. You're engaged to someone whose mother hates you, to the point where she pretends you don't exist and doesn't speak to you. And he tolerates that. Good luck marrying this dude. You're in for a bumpy ride. Next story. Am I the a-hole for blowing up at my husband for messing with my alarm and causing me to miss my exam? I, female 23, have been married to my husband, male 26, for a year. I'm in my last year of university and been so busy for the last 2 weeks, with many projects and finals looming. My husband complains from seeing me studying and not doing activities together or hanging out with friends anymore. I've told him it's not gonna last forever and that I need to focus because this is my last year, and it's been the hardest. The day before the exam, he wanted me to go with him to a friend's birthday party. I refused because I was busy preparing for my exam. He pleaded with me saying it's just 1 hour and talked about how his friends will be upset if I'm not there. I said no and shut down any further discussions. He got upset and called me selfish and inconsiderate, but then dropped it. Before I went to bed, I set my alarm clock like I always do since I'm a heavy sleeper, plus I stayed up late studying. The next morning, I woke up at 9 a.m. I literally freaked out and checked my alarm and found that it was set to go off at 9:30 a.m. I had no idea how this happened until my husband told me he did this to repay me for refusing to take one hour to attend a party, so he took this hour from my time. I couldn't believe it. I absolutely blew up at him, just yelling and screaming at him left and right. He just stood there shocked for my reaction and my rage. I got dressed quickly and rushed to the university. They didn't let me into the exam hall. I got into a lot of hassle to get them to reschedule the exam, especially since I had no legit reason as to why I was late. It was awful is all I can say. I went home and my husband and I stopped speaking to each other. He kept acting as if I hurt his feelings and traumatized him by yelling, and that I deserve what he did since he was frustrated with my continued refusal to attend all events for the past 2 weeks. I might be wrong for not considering it, but I think that my exam should be a priority, and his way of teaching me a lesson was not right. Not stay home. Holy crap. Your husband wanted to actively ruin your future because of a freaking party you couldn't attend? What kind of husband would do something like that? That's so petty. I think he deserved a lot more than just being yelled at. I would have kicked him out immediately. My husband and I started dating around the time of my second master's and got married after I had completed it. Now I'm in a PhD program. Through all of it, I've had to work insanely hard, but never has the man complained once. Your partner should be understanding the importance of your education and career. Not stay holopy, but I strongly suggest rethinking living with this man. My husband was in law school when we were married. The first year, he disappeared from our social circle for finals. Then for another month studying for the bar. I gave him all the space he needed. I had been a lawyer a few years by then and knew what it took. Not stay home. What a terrible partner. Not stay home. Honey, I'll be straight with you. Your husband is abusive. He wants to control what you do and does not support your success. Please tell your place of study that you missed the exam because you're in a horrible relationship. Leave him as soon as it's safe, and do not have a baby with this man. OP, please take this comment to heart. As someone who left a husband like this was an early occurrence that I wish I had taken more seriously. Run, and don't look back. Not stay home. He did this totally out of spite, knowing it would cause you to be late to your exam. You are right. University doesn't last forever, and you will be able to go out and do more fun things when it's over. Might be worth reminding him that it's actually going to be longer until you can do that, now that you've missed your exam. On an unrelated note, if you just simply didn't want to go, that should also be fine. He doesn't need you to hold his hand everywhere. He seems disrespectful of your time, your work, and your autonomy. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to help my girlfriend pack? Me, 21 male, and my girl Katie, 20 female, moved in together a year ago. It's been pretty sick, not gonna lie. We've been dating since high school and we love living together. We also just found out she's pregnant last month, which has been scary as hell, but we're ready for it. Our lease is ending, and Katie begged to move farther from her parents so we could experience independence. I like our current apartment and would rather just stay here, but Katie insisted. I told her, fine, as long as I don't have to do anything. She agreed excitedly and got to work packing, basically as soon as she could get boxes. We decided to move to a city about 3 hours away. She promised I wouldn't have to do anything, except maybe help load some boxes in and out of our apartments. I did mention to her that maybe we should scrape some money together for movers or something. I don't know. I don't really understand pregnancy, but I'm pretty sure she's not supposed to be moving stuff. But she said she was fine, and I'm not about to tell her she's wrong. I've stuck to my word and basically haven't helped except for taping some boxes. She's packing basically everything and seems a little tired. Yesterday, she asked me to help wrap and tape some picture frames and bubble wrap. I said no, that's not part of our agreement. She said she knows, but she figured I would help a little bit. But why would I do that? We literally made an agreement. My girl started crying and said she's been feeling really tired and just wants a little help. She said she's had a headache for like a week and just wants to rest. I told her that's rough, and if she wants, I can run to Starbucks. She started crying and told me to just leave her alone. What did I even do? Like, I'm pretty sure this isn't my fault. But my boy said I don't understand women and laughed at me. Am I the a-hole for not helping my girl pack? Now for the top comments. But why would I do that? To show her you love and care for her and that you will love and care for the child she's carrying for you. You're the a-hole. Get your act together or you'll be seeing the kid weekends only if you're lucky. And don't give coffee to pregnant people either. But we're ready for it. Bro, I don't think you are. You're incredibly immature. So you're being petty because she wanted to move? If it's such a big issue, communicate. You're basically punishing her because you didn't like the decision. And in the same breath, you're pointing how she shouldn't be moving stuff because she's pregnant. You're also being a complete a-hole. That's not part of our agreement. She said she knows, but she figured I would help a little bit. But why would I do that? We literally made an agreement. Jesus Christ. Are you 12? What the actual heck? You couldn't help her. You're living together. You're apparently starting a family together, but you can't put aside your pettiness to help her? She said she's had a headache for like a week and just wants to rest. I told her that's rough, and if she wants, I can run to Starbucks. She started crying and told me to just leave her alone. So you're not just an a-hole. You're also insensitive. You have zero emotional intelligence, and then you decide to go ahead and consult with your boys, instead of showing a modicum of respect and common decency. I can't believe people like you reproduce. God bless your girlfriend because she's in for a rough ride. Do her a favor, mate. Either you do some serious self-reflection and grow the heck up, or leave her alone. Don't waste her time and energy. I can believe it. That was my ex-husband in a nutshell. Wait until he gets asked to put the Xbox controller down and change a diaper. You're the a-hole. I will move as long as you do all the actual work, is iffy to start with. It is the kind of thing 12-year-olds would think is a good idea, but is obviously a bad idea to anyone who has physically packed up an apartment. But to stick to that when she asks for help and she's pregnant is borderline unforgivable. You aren't holding her to her word. You are holding her out to dry. And that bodes very poorly for your future. Both because you come across like an awful partner, and this is the kind of thing that will stick in her craw for the rest of her life. You need to stop what you were doing. Give her a wholehearted apology and dive into packing. She should go lie down while you take on a lion's share. Because if you don't, this will be the screw-up that your relationship never moves past. Last story. Am I the a-hole for leaving the house almost as soon as I walked in after a week of being away? Long story short, I, 29 female, brought my 3 kids to my mom's for the past week for a little mini vacation that husband could not attend due to work. He was fine with this because he doesn't like my mom. I left last Friday and got back to our state this morning. When I walked through that door, the house was a pigsty. Dirty dishes everywhere but the sink, clothes everywhere, half-full soda cans strewn throughout the house. Even on my desk, which is behind my husband's, there were easily 8 soda cans, 4 bowls, silverware, plates, water glasses, and napkins. On my porch, there were at least 12 beer cans piled up beside the returnable bin, because his buddy Tyler came over Saturday to drink and apparently never cleaned up. Multiple takeout boxes and bags in both the kitchen and bedroom. My husband was in playing video games with 2 open bags of chips beside him, and like 5 cans of soda on his desk. He nonchalantly asks me how my trip was, as I was looking at the filth he created. It was spotless when I left, because I grew up in a trashed home and have severe triggers when it comes to a messy house, so I always clean. Our youngest son said something about how dirty the place was, and my husband said, "Oh yeah, sorry, I haven't had time to clean." Yet he had time to play video games. So I left. Took the kids to the beach. I can't do filth. I truly cannot do it. He knows this. He knew when I was coming home too, because I called him as soon as we got back to Austin. So he had roughly 2 hours to even attempt to clean up a bit, and didn't. So anyways, I leave. He starts sending texts asking why I left because he missed us. And I said I refused to come home to that much filth. And that I found it over the top disrespectful that he would just leave it there, assuming I would pick it all up is my guess. He gets angry and says he has been at work and just hasn't had time, and wanted to spend some time relaxing on his video game before cleaning and sweating his butt off. I ignored it. He says I'm being controlling and over-obsessive. I need to chill out because he will get it done. So I text him about an hour ago, after 4 hours of being gone, and ask if it's done. And he says no, that he had stuff to do. So I booked a hotel and told him I won't be returning until it's finished. He is now pissed, saying he missed the kids and wants to see them now, but I'm keeping them from him. All because I can't deal with a bit of a mess. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Dude was living like a bachelor for a week. Picking up after yourself is not hard to do when you live alone. He created a much bigger job for himself than it needed to be. I would bet $1 million that he knew Opie liked the house clean and was banking on her picking up after him. Opie should tell her husband that she already has 3 kids. She doesn't want 4. The fact after 4 hours of no kids and wifey, he still refused to clean up his filth shows me he sees his wife as a bangmaid. He expects her to clean up after him and will find any and every excuse possible as to why he's allowed to live like a pig without cleaning. Why it's apparently wifey's duty to be his domestic servant. Good for Opie. I hope she never returns to the lazy a-hole unless it's to kick him out of her kids' home. Not stay home. The kids don't need to live in filth. He is acting like a toddler, throwing a tantrum because he was told to pick up his toys before he gets his dinner. That's just hurtful to toddlers. My toddler cleans up better than this man. Not stay home. He was alone in a clean home by himself, and he not only trashed it but let his friends do it too. That is highly disrespectful to you and to the kids, since they are also coming home to a dirty house. You know it's bad when a young child says something because most lack a filter. He even went as far as putting trash on your desk. If he didn't want to clean, he could have kept his shenanigans outside the home or hire a one-off cleaner. I bet it would have been cheaper than you and the kids having to stay in a hotel until it cleans up. There is no reason your home should look like a dump due to one grown man being lazy. Wouldn't even go as far as saying child, because that would be disrespectful to children.